Alright, so today we're going to be looking at writing a question in multivariate. It's probably one of the most important parts of the topic, and it's really important that we get this right. This is often the reason that most people do not get an achieve in the standard is because they cannot write a good question. In the assessment, we'll give you one chance to help you get you to correct your question, and if you do not get it correct, well, you carry on and you do the rest of the work and you'd still get a not achieved. So in a question, it's really important you get it right. And these are the 5 things you need to have in your question. First, we need 2 groups. We could be comparing males and females, cats and dogs, Apple versus Microsoft, you name it, just 2 groups we need to compare. Next is the population. So out of what size group are we wanting to make this conclusion for? Is it just going to be within Freiburg High School? Is it going to be wider than that, looking at the whole of New Zealand? Are we looking at the whole world? Are we only looking at dogs in Palmerston North, or are we looking, at all dogs across the whole world? So we need to figure out where is our data being drawn from, and what is the population? In an assessment, it's often quite clear what the population is. They often almost name it for you, so you just need to look out for that. Next is the variable that's been measured. So that is like something you're measuring. So it could be height, weight, how much money people earn. It needs to be something numeric. So something that is a number and that is like measured. So that you can compare between the two. It also, since we're only looking at a sample of data, we're not looking at all the possible data you can have. It's not necessarily 100% true, and it's not always going to be true. So we need to include this phrase here, tends to, that gives us some idea that it's not always true, but it often is. And finally, we need to compare the two in our question. So if you're comparing height, you need to use the word taller, for instance. So we're going to look at an example. So I wonder if males tend to be taller in height than females in the Year 11 maths class at Freiburg High School. So this is an example of a good question, and we're going to break it down and look at the different parts. Firstly, your 2 groups, males and females. Yep, we've got those in the question. Now the population, you can see, is the Year 11 maths class at Freiburg High School. That is the group we're interested in. We're not interested in all of Freiburg High School. We're not interested in all of New Zealand. We're only interested in the Year 11 maths classes at Freiburg High School. Next is the variable being measured. Well, height, that's definitely something we measure, so that's included in the question as well. We've got tends to, or tend to, or tend. You just need that some kind of phrase like that in your question, and we've got that. And a comparison, taller. So a good way to start off your question as well is to use the phrase I wonder if, and that's a really good way to start a question if you're stuck on how to start. But this question here's got all the criteria that we need.